Hello, Rohit.
I can see, no problem.
Okay. So now we can start.
Yeah, sure. Go.
Yes, good. Okay. So today we are going to start advanced Java. Okay. So actually, advanced Java is not a official word, but we are familiar with advanced Java. Okay. Actually, Oracle provides us a different edition for different purpose. So for advanced Java, we have an edition of Java that is JEE, means Java Enterprise Edition. Okay. So I think you know that Java. What is Java? Java is a computer programming language. Edition, like books edition, different editions, and enterprises. Enterprises like business. Okay. So here we can say if you want to develop any software for business purpose, we use JE. Okay. So JE is used for developed uh, business purpose softwares. Okay, so you can say what is business purpose softwares? Actually, suppose we want to start a business from our home. Okay, so only uh, people of our colonies can be interact with us. Okay, if we will start our business in marketplace, so more than one colonies peoples can interact with us. Okay, but if you will develop a website and host an internet, so from whole world any person can interact with us. That is more beneficial for us. Okay, so if we can say if you want to develop a website, so we use JEE, Java Enterprise Edition. Okay, like Facebook, like Google, like Gmail, like WhatsApp, like Instagram. There are different multiple websites. Okay, so suppose if you want to access any website, so without internet we cannot access it. Okay, so we can compare internet with a book library. Internet is like as a book library. Same as like suppose a book library is a collection of books. Same as internet is a collection of website. Okay, and each book is a collection of pages. Same as each website collection of web pages. Okay, and we can say we have two types of pages. First, like book page. Second is a copy page and copy page. Same as in websites, there are two types of page: a static page and dynamic page. Book page are used to only for reading purpose. If you want to read anything, so like like newspaper, like magazines, books, different types of books. Okay, subjects books. So we can use only for reading purpose. But in copy page, we can write anything. We can remove this. We can modify. We can perform any types of operation on copy page. Same as here, static page only for reading purpose, like any tutorials, like Java T point, like VB website, Wikipedia. These are the example of static pages. And dynamic pages like Gmail, like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter. These are the examples of dynamic page where we can input anything, we can write anything, we can modify, delete, we can perform any operation in dynamic pages. Okay. If we want to create a static page, so only if you have HTML, we can create a static page. But suppose we want to develop a dynamic page, so we use HTML plus Java or HTML plus .NET, HTML plus PHP, HTML plus Python. Okay, we can use any language with Java, with HTML, and we can develop dynamic pages. Okay, so suppose we want to access, we want to write a created websites. Okay, so first of all, actually websites work on the basis, I think you can, it's okay, static page, dynamic pages for the difference, websites, Rohit.
Yes, yes, I know those things.
Okay, okay. So suppose we want to access, uh, actually website work on the basis of client server architecture. Client server architecture. So suppose we have a system. Suppose we have a system. Okay. So which one is a client and which one is a server? So actually, in normal way, we can say service consumer is a client, is also called client. Okay. And server, service provider is a normal definition of client and server. Client is a server, service consumer, and server is a service provider. It is this definition is only for layman. Okay, but suppose we are a developer. So how to identify which one is a client and which one is a server? So actually, I think we know that each and everything works in our system with the help of different softwares. Okay, so if we will install client software in this machine, okay, so this machine will work as a client software, client machine. If we will install a server software, a client software in this machine, so this machine will work as a client machine. If we will install a server software in this machine, so this machine will work as a server. If we will install a server software in this machine, then this machine will work as a server. Okay, actually, The meaning of this, that. Okay. So what is client software and what is server software? So for client software, we have web browser, different web browser like Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, same as server software like Apache Tomcat, WebLogic, WebSphere, Glassfish, Etty, etc. There are multiple softwares of server. We can install any software or machine and when can work as a server. Okay. So here, suppose we want to client software means Chrome. This is Chrome software. This is a Chrome software. Okay, this is a client software. Okay. Suppose we want to send a request for any page. So we don't know that page is a dynamic or static. So we can easily pass here Facebook, suppose. Okay. We can write any URL in this address bar. And you can see here, there is a HTTPS www.facebook.com. HTTPS is a hypertext transfer protocol. This is a protocol. So if you want to send any request, we use web browser. So web browser install in our client software, client machine. So through this web browser, we can send any request from client side to server. Okay. So if you want to access any website, we can write the URL on address bar and press enter means we are sending a request for this website, this page. Okay. So here, suppose we want to send a request for any page. Okay. Suppose we have this is a client machine. We can connect it with the help of internet like Wi-Fi, broadband. We can use any way to connect this. Okay. So if we will send a request from the client side to machine, client side to server, send a request. So we use same way to send the request for static or dynamic. So we can send requests from the client machine. Okay, with the help of HTTP protocol, that request reached at server. Okay, and server will check that which type of request received from the client side. If that request is for a static page, so mostly static pages save in the server. So server search that page and download on the client machine. And client machine use web browser and display the content of that website, that page. Okay. So if that is a static page, so no problem. Mostly static pages are saved in server. Server only search that page and download on the client machine. And client machine, if client machine web browser display on the screen. But suppose requested requested request sent for a dynamic page. So dynamic pages does not exist in the server. Okay, that will create at the time of request, means at the runtime. If we will send a request for dynamic page, so server create that page, and after that, it will provide to client and web browser display on the screen. Okay, so all dynamic pages are not exist in server. Server create at the time of request. It create that page and provide to client. Okay. It means server uh, is capable to create dynamic page. So no, server is not capable to create a dynamic page. Okay, so suppose we want to build our home. So we cannot do this. So we will have labels, same as server cannot create a dynamic page. So server save a helping program. Okay. So if server receive any request for dynamic page, so server transfer that request to helping program. Helping program create that page according to request and provide to server, and server transfer to client machine, and client machine web browser display that page on the screen. Okay, that is a way of working a dynamic page. Okay, suppose here you can see, suppose here each and every uh, website have login page. Here we can put here username and password and then click on login. Suppose this. Okay, so after login it will check the username and password are correct or not. Okay, so if we will create a login, so our username and password transfer from client machine to server, and there is a responsibility of server to check that username and password are correct or not. So, but server is not capable to check that username and password is correct or not. So it will transfer that values to helping program. Now helping program will check that username or password are correct or not. But helping program have not any data to check that username or password are correct or not. So it will connect with database. Okay, it will connect with database and fetch the record and check that username and password are exist or not in the database. If that username and password are exist in the database already, so server will take next action. Otherwise, it will show a message on the client machine, incorrect username or password. Okay, so that is the whole working of your website. So we can divide this whole component of a website in three parts. First, this is a first part, second part, and third part. Okay, so we can say is a presentation layer, this is a application layer, and third is a database layer. Okay, so we can divide the uh, whole website component in three parts: presentation layer, application layer, and the database layer. We can also say this. This is the first layer: presentation tab, application tab, and database tab. Okay, presentation tab. This is a presentation tab. This is a presentation tab, which content will display on your screen. That is a presentation view. Okay, so if we want to create this view on your screen, if you want to create this, so we can divide the three part. It also called presentation layer is also called front end. Application layer is also called back end and database. Presentation layer, if we want to create a presentation layer, so we can use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, image, audio, video, etc. Okay. If you want to create application software, so we know Java, so we would use Java. Okay, but there are server also. So server, we use different types of server and database. Database layer. So we can use Oracle, Ingress, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, MySQL. We can use any database. Okay. So first of all, we know the server. What is server? It is also part of application software. Okay. So server, we have two types of server. That's called web server and application server. Okay. So what are the difference with the application server and web server? So actually, web server have web container. Okay. And application server have web container plus EJB container. Okay. So that is the difference. Web server have only web container, but applications have web container plus EJB container. So first of all, we are trying to know that what is the difference? What is the use of web container and EJB container? So here you can see in application software, there is a part. Okay. This is a helping program. That is it. If you want to develop this helping program, so we use Java because we are Java developer. If you are a .NET developer, so you use C Sharp. If you are PHP, to PHP you will use for PHP and Python. Okay. So but we are Java developers, we use Java as a helping program. Okay, for dynamic page. So Java provides us two options: Servlet and JSP. JSP, Java server pages. Okay. So if you want to develop, if you want to create a dynamic page or website, web page, a web application, so Java provides us two options: Servlet and JSP. Servlet and JSP both are used to create dynamic pages. Okay. And if you want to execute this servlet or JSP, so with the help of web container, we can execute servlet and JSP. Okay. It means if we have web server, so we can execute servlet and JSP, no problem. Okay. Actually, web container have servlet and JSP engine that will execute our servlet and JSP. Okay. So here, application software have web container and EJB container. So through with the help of application software, we can execute servlet and JSP because it contains web container also, and it have EJB container. So with the help of EJB container, we can execute EJB, Enterprise Java Bean. Okay. So before the servlet JSP, we use EJB, but currently we use Servlet and JSP. So Servlet and JSP, we can execute either through the web server or application server. So we can use anyone, web server application. We can execute Servlet and JSP. But if you want to execute EJB, so we have need of application server because without application server, we cannot execute EJB. Okay. So here we have different web server like Apache Tomcat. This is open source. Design, Jetty. These are the different web servers. Okay. Application server, JBoss, WebLogic, WebSphere, Glassfish. JBoss provides a JBoss community. Okay. WebLogic, Oracle provides this server, WebLogic. WebSphere, IBM provides WebSphere, and Mason Macrosystem provide Glassfish. So we can download any software, any server software, and install our machine, and we can execute servlet and JSP. Okay. But Tomcat, mostly developer use Tomcat because this is open source. And at the time of hosting, suppose you developed a website and after that you want to host on the internet. So at that time, Tomcat, Apache Tomcat will also open source. But JBoss, WebLogic, WebSphere, Glassfish, these are the paid softwares. Okay. So Tomcat is very easy to download and install and working. So mostly developers prefer Tomcat. Okay, but we can use any server. Okay, because all server have web container and web container have servlet and JSP engine that executes servlet and JSP. Okay, so in advanced Java, we will learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, image, audio. We can use anything. And application software, we use Servlet and JSP. And as a server, we use Tomcat. And as a database layer, we use Oracle. Okay, so these are the softwares we use in advanced Java. Okay, hello.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, actually, we cannot execute uh, Servlet or JSP as a normal software. So first of all, we will install server. Without server, we can execute servlet or JSP or any dynamic page. We cannot execute without the server. We can execute, I think, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are the we will create only static pages. So we can execute on the web browser, no problem. But if you want to create dynamic page, so a server will create a dynamic page with the help of servlet and JSP. So we have need of server. So after server, we can execute servlet and JSP. Okay. So first of all, we will try to know what is server. Sorry, what is servlet? Okay. So first of all, we will learn servlet. After that, we will learn JSP. Okay. Servlet. So first, It's a technology. Servlet is a technology. And we can develop different types of website with the help of servlet. Okay. Second thing. Okay. So in Java, it's a way to create dynamic pages. Okay. So with the help of servlet, we can create dynamic pages. Third, it is a server-side script. Means without server, we cannot execute it because it resides in server. So without server, we cannot execute servlet. That is a server-side script. We cannot execute on web browser, only in web browser. Okay, it will execute with the help of server. Okay, fourth, it extend it extends the capability of server. What is the meaning of this? Actually, server only provides us static pages. But with the help of servlet, server also provides us dynamic pages. So through the servlet, we can extend the capability of server. It is a interface. And six, it is a class. Okay. The most important part is it is an interface and it is a class. Okay, so servlet is also an interface. But I think you know that. Without we cannot instantiate a servlet, any interface. So if you want to use any interface, you must be implementing another class. Okay, so that is a class also because we can say this is the implemented class of servlet. Okay, so how to use servlet? So suppose I think you know that multi-threading. Suppose we have a class demo and we want to convert this class in thread. So we can implement runnable interface. Okay. And extend thread class. Okay. Same as if we have a class name is demo and we want to convert this class in servlet. So servlet is an interface. So we can implement servlet. Okay. And we can extend generic servlet. Okay. And we can use extend HTTP servlet. Okay. So same as threading. If you want to create a thread, so we can implement runnable interface or extend thread class. Same as if you want to create a servlet, so we can implement servlet interface or extend generic servlet class or extend HTTP servlet class. Okay, generic servlet and HTTP servlet both are classes and servlet is the interface. Okay, after that, suppose here we want to create a thread. So runnable interface have a method public void run. Okay, so if we want to create a thread, must we implement public void run method. Same as here. In both cases, we must be implement public void run. Same as servlet interface have interface servlet have 5 methods. So if we implement servlet interface, must be implement 5 methods. So here, like public void init. This is a method, first method, and it have a parameter name is servlet config. Okay. Second is a public void service, and it have two parameter, service request and servlet response. Okay, and public void destroy, public string get servlet info, and fifth is a public servlet config name is get servlet config. Okay, so here public void init that have a only single parameter, that is a servlet config. Servlet config is also interface. Okay, second is a public void service, it have two parameters, servlet request and servlet response. So it received the servlet config is for initialization. Okay, and servlet request, it received the request from the client side and send the request, send the response to client side through the servlet response. Okay, destroy, it will destroy the all created object of servlet, and get servlet info, it return the string type values, means like string related information we can get with the help of get servlet info. And get servlet config, last method is a get servlet config, it will return the object of servlet config, because servlet config is the interface, but this method will return the object of servlet config. Okay, so servlet have these 5 methods. So if we will we want to create a servlet with the help of servlet interface, so must we implement these 5 methods. Okay, and if we want to use generic servlet, okay, if you want to generic servlet, in this case we have not need to implement init method, we have not need to implement destroy or get servlet and get servlet config. We have need to only the implement public void service method. Okay, and if we want to use HTTP servlet class, so we have not need to implement any method. Okay, so we have three ways to create servlet in Java. Okay, so first we can implement the servlet interface. Servlet interface have 5 methods. So if we will implement servlet interface, so must we implement these 5 methods. Okay, but if we use generic servlet at the place of servlet interface, so we will implement only service method. And if we want to use HTTP servlet, so we have not need to implement any method of servlet interface. Okay, so how it is possible? So actually, generic servlet class, generic servlet implement servlet interface. Okay, generic servlet class already implemented servlet interface and implement all all methods except service method. So generic servlet class already implement the all methods of servlet class, servlet interface, except service method. So if we want to use generic servlet, so we have need to implement service method, because generic servlet only provides us the implementation of these 4 methods, except service method. So if you use generic servlet, so we have need to only implement the service method. Okay, understood? If we use servlet interface, so we have need to implement all 5 methods. If we use generic servlet, so we have need to implement only service method, because other methods are already implemented in generic servlet class. And if we use HTTP servlet, so we have not need to specify implement any method, because HTTP servlet has already implemented service method. Actually, HTTP servlet extend generic servlet, and generic servlet class already implemented all method except service method. Okay, so we have need to implement only service method. So HTTP servlet implement public void service method. Okay, so if we use HTTP servlet, so we have not need to implement any any method of servlet, because all methods are already implemented in generic servlet and HTTP servlet. Okay, so but the so first question will arise that how to implement. We will we Suppose we want to how to create the dynamic page. So actually, service method of HTTP servlet provide us two methods, two different methods for implementation at the place of service. Okay, the name is get, do get, do get, and do post. Okay, and the parameter is a HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response, and post HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. So if we if we user want to implement uh, servlet and it's used generic servlet. So we can implement do get or do post. We can use anyone. Do get or do post. If we will send the uh, requesting method with get, so we will use do get. If we are using uh, client side post method, so we will use do post method. Okay, so if we will create a servlet with the help of HTTP servlet, so we will implement do get or do post. Okay, so that is a servlet. So this class will called servlet class. Okay, because that is the responsibility of the servlet class. It will receive the request from the client side, and after processing, it provide the response to client. So we have two options. First is HTTP servlet request, and second is HTTP servlet response. So servlet class receive the request from the client side with the help of HTTP servlet request. And after processing, it send the response to client through the help of HTTP servlet response. Understood?
Yes.
Hello. Okay. So, okay. So first of all, we have need to 1 minute. I'm back. Okay. So suppose we want to create a dynamic page. So first of all, we have need a server. Without server, we cannot execute servlet. Okay. So we will download Apache Tomcat. Okay. So open your Chrome and type here Apache Tomcat. Okay. Version 9. Okay. Here you will get first link. Click on first link. Okay. Here. Download here. There are different versions of Apache Tomcat. And here, okay, this is Apache Tomcat. Okay. And here you get for core binary description. So suppose your platform is 32-bit Windows, you can click on first 32-bit Windows.zip file. If our system is a 64-bit Windows, so we will click on 64-bit Windows.zip file. If we want to install, if we want to use installer, so we will click on 32-bit or 64-bit Windows Service Installer. we will click on this link. Okay, and download installer and install this server in the machine. After that, we can execute that. But I think this is very easy. 32-bit Windows zip and 64-bit. We can only download this file and extract this zip file. After that, we can use it. Okay. So my platform is 64-bit Windows. So I will click on this. Only click on this link. It will automatically start the downloading. You can see this. Okay. So only click on this link. It will automatically start the downloading. So after downloading, it will provide us a zip file. Okay. So we can use after extraction. Okay. You can extract that file. After that, we can use. So after extraction, we will get a folder. Okay. After extraction, we will get this type of folder. Apache Tomcat 9. Like this. Okay. Open this folder. Here you will get the actual folder of your server. Okay. And it have multiple files and folders. So now it is ready. We can use Apache Tomcat for the execution of Servlet. Okay, understood? Any doubt, any
Yeah.
queries?
No.
Okay, so this is enough for today. And we will
Okay.
create dynamic page in next session tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
and we will try to execute.
So see you tomorrow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hey, can you send those to the WhatsApp, please? Notes.
Sorry, you can
Can
write.
you send to WhatsApp
Yes, yes, sure,
the
sure,
the
sure, sure, sure.
okay. Thank you very much.
Almost welcome.
See you tomorrow.
Yes, yes, sure.
Take care.
Most, thank you. Thank you so much.